Twitch looks okay. We are live on Twitch right now, David. If you can believe it.
Crazy.
We are growing at a rapid pace. On YouTube too. Beautiful. Let's play the intro music and get this show on the road. It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Fantasy FootbLOL episode where we review the Premier League weekend just gone. We talk about Sorare, review our galleries. I'm always joined by a guest, and this week it is the James Richardson of Web3 content. It is the one and only SR Monkey. Welcome to the show, mate.
It's your boy, Sorare Monkey.
Come on. There's some people out there who are messaging me after certain live shows going, oh, so-and-so didn't do the salute. Hoodwink didn't do the salute last week. Someone messaged me saying, Hoodwink didn't do the salute. Like, people are looking into this now, so that will be paid attention to.
Yeah, you've actually made me think about upping my game for like intros and outros for the shows that we do, because at the moment it's just rubbish.
I quite like your outro, no? Isn't it usually bye? Something like...
Yeah, but that just like at the moment, like I couldn't think of anything better to do. But the more content producers you watch, especially ones that've been doing it years, the more you see like just things like who is it? Like does Nep say peace? Like and someone says ciao, and like other people like bye. Just feels like a bit shitty. But
I guess
maybe listeners, if you can come up with something, I'm happy to give it a whirl, see if it works.
In the comments, guys, if you're watching this in the future, even if it's on Twitch or YouTube, they're still available, these episodes in the future. So let us know what David's opening can be.
You've always got a good shirt game, mate. Like you've got really good. Like that's a Danamus.
Yeah,
with
Balotelli on the back.
Oh yeah,
Liverpool legend.
Oh, I don't know about that. Liverpool player, but
who is your Oh, we've got a Twitch comment. First comment on Twitch. Fair Hernan with a suggestion for your intro. I'm guessing ooh monkey here. Oh, I'm guessing like ooh like a monkey.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always a bit worried that like the monkey, because the monkey comes from like a nickname that Monkey Boy that friends had at university. I'm not going to go into the details, but there is a reason for it. And yeah, I'm always a bit worried that people will read too much into it. It's just like something I've used as a moniker for like we used to play poker professionally, and I used to go by Chimpy.
Oh wow!
So I've always used the sort of like the monkey primate sort of nicknames. But
when you said poker professionally, what does that mean? Like going around the country?
Well, it was my only source of income. It wasn't a big source of income. I did play the World Series a couple of times, but
nice.
When a decent amount of tournaments online and live, but nothing absolutely massive. Some of the people that I played with back years ago, like I turned on the TV a few weeks ago watching a poker show, and he was on there, and he's like looked into it, and he's like won millions and millions. But yeah.
And like, where do you play that, in a casino or? Where did
I started out playing in a club in London called the Gut Shot Club, which then became the International after it was shut down. And once that shut down, I started playing online, and then sort of went from there.
Love it.
I used to Vegas a few times.
I used to work in a casino, and but this was ages ago. And my favorite, it was kind of serving drinks and stuff, working in the restaurant. And my favorite room to work was the poker room. It was like whenever there was a little poker kind of game going on, it was always like a nice seeing the tension, watching everyone, having a quick glance at the cards, saying nothing, and good memories.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Also, speaking of past work experience, I heard you on a recent show saying you used to work advertising. Can we find out more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I worked in digital advertising for I guess a decade and a half in London. Sort of working, online advertising when it first started out, selling banner ads and stuff like that, then devising strategies and stuff like that, and building teams and teaching people how to be salespeople and all kinds of stuff. But
Cool. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
done.
no, I really enjoyed that because it was like you were working with loads of younger people. So, I'm a big child myself, so I used to go out like drinking all the time with them, and yeah, that was fun times. But
Nice. Yeah, I've got a bit of a marketing experience myself, so done similar stuff to that kind of with calf that
were
sort of
you
account
more
managing.
agency side or?
It was, yeah, a bit more account managing and like brand manager work kind of,
Okay, yeah.
but it was a lot of the same stuff, like selling banner ad space, kind of giving clients ideas of what they can do and
Yeah,
increase their click through rate. But
yeah. Far more interesting like tracking methods these days. But yeah, in the old days, it was just how many clicks they would get.
nice. I feel like that was easier than now. Now it's just too many metrics, too many things
Yeah,
that someone can complain
yeah,
about.
yeah. There's a lot more stuff that goes into it these days. But
Football wise, well, I guess Sorare wise, how has it been for you lately? Let me fire up your Sorare gallery. I mean, this is how we know we've got serious Sorare manager on the channel today, guys. Look at this 5 best cards here, these rare sort of Liverpool stars. A Darwin
I
Nunes
haven't changed that
celebration
for a while.
card.
Actually, I've probably got a new card could put in there. But yeah.
How's it been going for you lately? Has it been successful generally? Frustrations?
Like this weekend, I was on two fourth streaks and missed both of them. Like
Oh,
one because I just needed Kochu to like not get negative decisive for Besiktas versus Fenerbahce, and obviously he got sent off. And I saw it started, and I was like literally counting the money. Then I wasn't watching the game. I thought, oh, brilliant! Like literally, at least I've locked up 100 bucks there. Then I went to my computer and started looking into players for the next week. Then I checked back about 45 minutes later, and there was a red on SofaScore, and
oh,
I thought, as long as that's not him, I don't mind. And I slowly scrolled down.
oh
I was like,
no.
oh, fuck's
It's always
sake.
him. It's always them.
And then I was going for a Streak 4 in contender this week, which isn't completely over, but pretty much, yeah. Funnily enough, the team I had lined up all week was Hertha Berlin, and one of the guys from Dinamo Zagreb. But he was not necessarily locked to start, so I changed him out last minute. If I'd had
Oh.
him in, then I would have been 400, 500 bucks richer as well. So yeah, it's been a frustrating weekend, but I look at it like, you've got what 32 weekends a year to sort of like try and sort of win stuff in the in-season stuff, and then obviously you got them for classic the next season. But yeah, so you brush yourself off and move on. But there's I've hit some streaks this weekend, so I can't complain. But I'm trying like
Yeah.
Premier League to get into Premier League by not spending Prem Rare by not spending any money. I can only use cards that I buy with winnings
Ah.
or crafted cards. And I've got 3 teams now.
And so every Premier League card you have, or is this a new thing? Or have you been doing this all
No, I
season?
started at the start of the season because I couldn't afford the cards. So yeah, luckily I've crafted 2 keepers, like Leno and Emi Martinez.
Yeah, that's some good crafts.
Crafted Canate, who else have I crafted? Quite a few, like
Undai is a pretty good craft as well.
Die. Yeah. So I've crafted a few and then used money from streaks to like buy cards for it as well. I crafted Neto as well. Yeah.
Nice, nice,
So
nice.
it's gone okay. I've got to streak 3 a couple of times, but I just don't quite have the depth yet to sort of run sort of decent. Like I can run 2 teams, but they're not decent. I normally have 1 decent team and then a leftover. But yeah, that's fun. Be doing that. I do feel like it's tying my hands a bit. Like I could have bought more cards for it this week, but yeah, just sort of the idea is, can I win Division 1, like the 4 grand, going with that method? But I've got plenty to like this seat. Like, if you're looking at the team now, crafting a winner, that one now, and you were just hovering over.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it started off on Saturday. Leno got a clean sheet, and then Rice got 100. And I thought, brilliant, right? I got the Liverpool game coming up. They're at home. As long as neither player fucks up, that's fine. And then Neto as well. And I thought Neto, you'll probably get some AA. literally no AA for Neto at all. Canate had one of his worst scores of the season, and Szoboszlai did okay. Can't complain about that. But 390 was 10 points short of the second streak as well. Yeah, so it's been a little bit frustrating this weekend, but sometimes you have those, don't you? Like, people get upset by it, but I've missed streak 4 during the 5x phase by 0.02.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was horrible.
And that hit hit me in the stomach like a Mike Tyson. But I brush myself off and you get up and you go for next week, don't you? So you've got to.
When you have a week like that, I try to kind of go, well, I've got good cards at smashing. Like, I've got people like Declan Rice here and Leno. Like, they're good cards. And, Neto won't always have a 35. Neto ruined one of my lineups as well. I had a full 5 Chelsea lineup. All 4, they all did really well. And then Neto just there like a sore thumb.
I feel like it's one of those weekends on So Rare, though, that, there were good lineups out there, don't get me wrong. But Bayern, obviously that doesn't affect the Prem competition, but they rotated, so they got some of their main forwards and stuff like that only got limited minutes if they came on at all. Arsenal, Saka, what did he score? Like 35, 36 points.
Really
winning tournaments. I'm trying to think of other ones. There was quite a few DMPs, like the PSG. Like, I've got a PSG because I won a Dembele special edition. And I sold it. I thought, well, I might as well buy a limited PSG collection because then I was going to play limited anyway. And trying to pick their lineup is absolute nightmare. But
yeah, especially because there's Champions League football as well midweek. So whenever there's Champions League football, I feel like PSG go extra PSG and rotate just random even more.
Oh, Greenwood as well. Mason Greenwood DMPing this weekend as well. And then I thought, well, at least he'll come on and get some minutes. But no, he didn't come on because they got a red card and they're 1-0 up. So can't complain. What did you think of the Halloween promo?
I didn't go out of my way to enter it. I did some crafting when they had the kind of cards, and I was like, if I craft, say, 2 or 1 even decent card, I'll then go out and get another 2. But I just got the best card I crafted was Rodri, and then he was sort of not really supposed to be playing this week, so I was kind of like, I didn't mean to avoid it.
What do you call it? The spooky competitions or whatever they were called. Like, more just like the promo as a whole, like the bringing the wheel back for it.
Yeah, I like that.
The potion. Really, for me, it's been one of the best ones they've done. But
I think the designs are probably my favorite designs. Both just the regular versions, those black ones, and then the sort of fancier cartoon ones. Like, there's a really Cole Palmer one that I really like the look of. And
must be tempted to buy him.
Yeah, I got a basic one this week because his price is at a nice kind of point now where people have gone, he's never going to come back. He's finished. Forget him. So he's gone down to like £30 at limited now. So now's the time to swoop in.
I crafted his limited, so. But that was just before he got injured. So I've not. I don't think I've been able to use him in a lineup yet. But you might be able to get it, like traders, especially after this competition ends. Traders often end up picking up like the special edition cards, the ones with like the special designs, and often you can trade like your normal one plus a little slither of cash and get one that way. They do look cool.
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled this week, hoping for. Is it international break next weekend as well?
Usually... Oh, is it that soon? It only feels like we've just finished it.
I know. I don't know if it's this week or the following week, but I know there's the last one of the year.
There's definitely competition this weekend. But I know there's one coming up. I'm just, bloody hell.
I know. Well, you just got your Emi Martinez, so you'll get some usage.
That's true. Yeah.
He's a funny player.
Martinez
is a funny player this year because his price has been quite low because everyone thought he was going to leave. Everyone thought he was leaving Villa in the summer, so his price tanked, and it's never quite picked back up. Villa didn't really have a good start of the season, so I think he's going a little bit under the radar considering he's Argentina's #1 and Champions League football, whatever European football Villa have, Premier League #1, no competition. So
100%, yeah. For me, as soon as I'm into it, I wasn't even thinking about the Premier League. I thought, brilliant, I've got a World Cup keeper and a decent team locked up.
Yeah,
there we go. Because we know So Rare are going to run like some competition during the World Cup, and you're probably going to need 4 in-season cards plus a World Cup special card. I don't know why I put that in corners, but because the same as they did for the Club World Cup. So having like cards locked up on decent teams is a decent way to go. But
yeah, that's good thinking. Very forward planning, but you'll be laughing when it's especially because it's in season as well. Like in season, kind of Argentina goalkeeper should go far at the World Cup.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Yeah. I've got a Messi as well, but unfortunately, it's a classic. But and his in-season one won't be. You'd have to get next season's anyway for it to be in season, wouldn't you? So MLS is just finishing, but
unless they let you do one classic card, who knows?
Maybe one classic and one of the special edition cards that they'll sell. And I expect the next promo will be Christmas. Like the one they did last Christmas was pretty good. But yeah, this Halloween one has just been so much fun. Like the crafting, the extra potions and stuff like that. Like this week, I've got currently 16. Oh no, it's more than that, isn't it? So I've got 17,500 essence coming in.
Ooh.
And I've got loads of clues. The one I haven't got, I never get the competition one, which is really frustrating. Like I think I've got like shitloads of those potion ones, which normally I just use on like the normal draws because I don't want to risk it on the one. It's like maybe I should save them for star draws, but knowing my luck, I won't get any decent draws. So.
What's your strategy? Is it to sort of build up essence and then do like a big chunk of crafting, or is it just to do lots of little and often?
Amreezy, I'm trying to save it up and do like a YouTube video on it.
Yes.
Every time it comes, I think, well, I'll just do one, and that's a rubbish one. I think I'll just do one more before you know it.
Got to save some for the video.
So yeah. Like the content that seems to get the most views is crafting videos.
Yeah.
And I just can't help myself. Like I should just go to my computer, sit down and do it there.
Yeah.
But I'm just lying on the sofa, phone in hand,
go on then. Yeah, I should do the same, but every week I just craft. And then I slip. I usually record
it sometimes, don't you? You put it in your video. So yeah.
But yeah, I miss a trick. It would be better to not do it in the videos though, and just store it up and every month do a kind of monthly crafting party. But just the idea that there could be someone great here, and you need a midfielder for this Premier League weekend. What if you craft him? What if that's too tempting for me to kind of wait a month.
Yeah, maybe I'll save it up this time.
Handuzi, first
of all, this time you're going to get the whatchamacallit, aren't you? You're going to get you've got to use the potions, I imagine. Otherwise, they just disappear into the ether. So the clues you might craft. Yeah, so I'll probably do a couple of crafts there just to use it there.
Handuzi, thank you for the subscription on Twitch and the gift subscription. Appreciate that. And a question: I don't know if I was playing Sorare at the last Euros. Did they do a Euros promo? I think I joined just after the Euros, the last one.
I don't think they did. I mean, there was special Euros competitions, but they didn't make a big, hoopla about it. But it feels like it's only in the last, probably 12 months since they officially started the European season of in season that they started putting out these promos. So I would be shocked if we don't get a Christmas promo of some description. And they aren't planning on the World Cup one. I don't know how hard it is to get FIFA licenses. I imagine it's tough and expensive. So they could do I don't know how they would work around it, but they will definitely do something for the World Cup.
Yeah, I can see something like the Club World Cup. I feel like that was probably a practice for them for the World Cup. So I wouldn't be shocked if it was like, what did they call them last year? Like summer edition cards and... that could even be a way around the FIFA license. If it's just the summer edition of the club card, maybe that, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's ways around it, isn't there? But as long as you sort of, look into copyright laws and stuff like that. But yeah, they'll definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, will do some sort of tournament for it. But
start preparing, guys. Start preparing.
Going to see Emmy's price going straight up now.
Oh yeah. I was playing around with MFL the other day and saw a Euros competition there. Can't wait to see what MFL do. Yeah, MFL should have some kind of fun there as well. You'd be crazy if you didn't miss out on that. If you're a Web3 game, you got to take advantage of all of that World Cup excitement.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you've got to make the most of it, haven't you? Yeah, the Euros did one, although obviously, it was on a lot smaller scale then in terms of number of users. But so it must have been a lot easier to organise. So I don't know how they would organise it now, but there'll be definitely ways they can do it. I'm sure they've already started thinking about it. But I'll ask Matt when I have him on the show in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah. Get it out, a little exclusive. It was quite a busy Saturday. There was only 2 games yesterday on Sunday. There's 1 game coming up, Sunderland Everton. So most of the games were on Saturday. Did you watch any of these, David?
I watched. So let me look. Trying to think which ones were on. Did I watch that one? No, I didn't watch the early games because they were all at 3:00, weren't they? So we couldn't get the game over here. Then I watched Tottenham, Chelsea, I watched Liverpool, Aston Villa, I watched West Ham, Newcastle, and I watched Man City, Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think they're all the...
So I've watched them all, but
nice.
Only highlights of some of them.
Brighton, back to winning ways. Leeds, feels like, we get excited about Leeds one week and we're like, oh, is it? Are they the budget stack to go for? And then it's like next week, no, they lost to Brighton. But Brighton have quietly been going about their results. They've, when they started the season, they had a bit of a slow start. I remember there's a lot of, Brighton aren't going to be there this year, but they're back to being Brighton.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I mean, they had a bit of a shaky start to the season. I think some people are probably a little bit shocked that Dunk and Van Heck are keeping out Boskagli, but I think Dunk, he was on the verge of the England squad. Admittedly, he's not first choice. Not so long ago. He's a decent defender. So, I imagine they keep in Van Hecker. Obviously, will be in the Dutch squad for the World Cup as well, I imagine. So, and he had a cracking score for AA this weekend. And they do play in a relatively friendly way for Sorare point of view. Welbeck is someone I just cannot bring myself to buy.
No.
I do need a forward at the moment. Like Minter's quite good because he gets a bit of AA. Gomez would be great if he's a forward card, but I'm pretty sure he's not. And they were raving about him on Soccer Saturday, talking about him.
Yeah, I'm guessing he feels like a midfielder.
I think he was a midfielder.
I've got a Matoma that I'm waiting for to come back from injury for, so I can use.
Yeah, he is a midfielder. Yeah, I mean, he got 100 at the weekend. Obviously, he got 2 goals, but they were raving about him. But yeah, I think he needs to put up consistent minutes, doesn't he, to do that? And his scores have been sort of, fairly average so far this season, apart from when he gets decisives. But
one to keep an eye on. 22 years old as well, so could be another Brighton sort of random wonder kid that they just sort of pluck from the football cosmos. But yeah, Leeds. Do you have any Leeds players? I can't imagine you do you?
No, I crafted Calvert-Lewin, but I sold him when he was fit because honestly, that lad cannot play. He's got glass knees, glass hamstrings, glass everything. But considering he used to be on the verge of the England squad, you would think that he would be a potential sort of player to sort of pick out if you're trying to do a budget stack. But yeah, Leeds just haven't got going this season, and they can sort of look okay when you're watching them, and then they just lose the games. So I haven't really looked too much into them to understand why that's happening. But I know the fans aren't happy at the moment. But as you probably wouldn't be, would you, if you're losing? But they're not bottom of the league, are they? I haven't looked at the table today. But
where are they? They are 16th, which if they finish 16th, they'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But then I guess the concern would be Wolves are going to get a new manager. Forest got a new manager. West Ham got their first win of the season. So all 3 of those teams at the bottom, you could just see them all kind of pushing up now slowly, and then leaving the likes of Burnley and Leeds kind of in the bottom.
Burnley have looked quite good, and they gave it a go against Arsenal at the weekend. Obviously, you're playing the best team in the division this season, so you don't expect Burnley to win, but at least they gave it a go rather than sort of sitting back.
Yeah, this was the 3 p.m. one I watched. Burnley Arsenal, and I was kind of keeping a close eye on Jadon Anthony up front for Burnley, because a few weeks ago he was having, every other week he was getting goal involvement, looked really lively. And now that Zian Fleming, Roy Livy's little favorite player, is back, it's reducing his kind of goal threat. When Fleming was injured, Jadon Anthony was kind of the main guy in that Burnley attack, but he's kind of playing off Fleming now, which I think in easier games will still do well, because he's kind of a bit of the big target man for him, and he can kind of play around him. So I think in easier fixtures, Anthony and Fleming could have some fun up front, and then defensively as well. Some like people like Esteve, the goalkeeper's one of those budget goalkeepers that scores okay. So yeah, Burnley are quite a fun team.
They're not. I mean, if you're looking for a budget stat, Burnley are probably one of the better ones to go for, I think, this season. But West Ham, I know a couple of people were buying them like a few weeks ago, and they did look awful, but I thought they looked pretty good this weekend. But
yeah, they'll be hoping that they've turned the corner there big time. I am loving Gabriel. Had a Gabriel since the beginning this season, and he's going crazy right now. He's just when they have a set piece, it's like they've got a full prime striker. Like, he's the main guy in the box. It's like, it's not the striker, it's not Eze, it's not anyone else. It's it's Gabriel. Gabriel's the kind of one you're keeping your eye on, and he's lethal. So I've done something recently where I've kind of building towards a stack of Premier League in season, Gabriel and Saliba is kind of both in there. Saliba is your extra card, just because I think that Arsenal defense, it's almost like backing a Haaland. It's almost like backing an attack that scores a lot. The clean sheets for Arsenal's defense, they're just so exciting, and so you're just so sure of it most weeks. You're just like, yep, Arsenal, another clean sheet. Here we go.
I'm just looking now, like Saliba. I think Saliba is one of their best defenders, one of the best defenders in the Premier League. But in terms of so rare, you'd much rather have Gabriel, because he's generally much more of a threat. Like, you just have to look at his score, Saliba's scores. Often even when Arsenal win and get a clean sheet, his scores aren't that great, just because people avoid him on the pitch. They go after the easier ways, and he's probably one of the best. He is one of the best defenders, so it's quite difficult sort of trying to work your way around him. So if you look at his scores, they're not scores that will win divisions for you generally. Obviously, this week he got what's that, last man tackle? Yeah, he got last man tackle, but without the last man tackle, his score's pretty low. And you look at it like this weekend, Gabriel obviously got a high score. But those kind of scores, although they look okay, they're not the kind that are going to win the tournaments. And for his price, I think you can do better than Saliba.
I should have had you on 2 days ago. I've already got him now, David.
Oh, no, you bought him. You could have said you bought him before I completely slaughtered him. No, he's a great defender.
I mean, I think I did still do a good trade, though, because I had this Aubameyang as part of one of my Chelsea collections. And because Aubameyang's scoring a few goals now, he's gone up to £10 value. So I was like, that's short term. He's going to be £1 next season when he's retired or whatever, gone back to Saudi. So I've got rid of an injured player and a Aubameyang, a little bit, and a tenner. So it was too good to turn down.
Deal, yeah. Put it like this, Saliba, you maybe wouldn't put him in your team that you think is absolutely going to fly, but he would definitely go into one of your teams if you're running multiple teams.
Yeah. Got to fit in 4 lineups. All right. I won't show you the other ones.
I should look at your gallery before I start slaughtering players again.
These are the 4 new ones I've brought in. I've brought in 2 Bournemouth boys. Again, he helps with the Chelsea collection, so it was like, got to get Petrovic in there. And then a Cole Palmer, because I got that Rodri, the Halloween Rodri, and I was a bit like, I don't know if Rodri's going to come back soon, if he's going to take ages to come back, whereas I know when Cole Palmer comes back, straight in that first team and will be much needed. So
you weren't in my circle. I've added you to the circle of trust.
Yes. Robert De Niro style.
Jordi Petrovic, yeah, Truffurt's nice. Saliba, Cole Palmer, as you said, yeah.
And
That's
these are
nice.
all
Definitely.
trades. I've wanted to kind of just clear up my gallery, really. I've just got too many useless cards that just weren't doing anything. So I had a big clean up this weekend and traded unwanted players for those 4 cards. So fun times. But that was Arsenal Brighton. Palace
You're a
Brentford.
Villarreal stack. I bought some Villarreal cards this weekend. They've got an easy.
They're so hard to predict who's playing because the manager just keeps chopping. Who hurt me this week? So I thought Papa Gay.
Well, Moreno's back now, isn't he? And Jose Perez came off the bench, so I expect that those two will get some serious minutes, but both of them can't stay fit. So
No.
one of them will get injured again pretty soon.
And then
Fourth as well. Fourth's injury prone as well, but he's when he plays, he's a really good scorer.
Yeah. I just need to get the score right. I think I've got the right players from Villarreal. They're kind of the team I picked from Spain this year, and like they just keep chopping the goalkeeper, then they keep chopping the strikers, but they've got really good players there, and they're really nice stackable players like mid forwards that actually play on the wing. They've got defenders that seem to all 4 of the defenders seem to get good scores, but having a nightmare with just trying to pick who starts.
That's the trouble with buying. Like everybody wants to buy players on teams, whether in Europe, but doing that will guarantee you DMPs during the season.
Yeah,
it's just
big time.
So frustrating. Last season, I bought 2 teams in Prem Rare who didn't have European football, and it was so much easier. Like this season, I've bought a couple of Man United cards, but just because they're not in Europe, it's so it's pretty predictable who's going to start most weeks. But it's so tough. Like Liverpool, I know Slot doesn't like rotating much, but it's still tough trying to pick their midfield, and sometimes there's surprises in there. But sorry, I'm taking us off track, aren't I?
No. We're on track. We're talking about Sorare. That's it. And like it's one of those things when you're building the lineups is why players like Semenyo are so nice to own, because it's like there's just no stress. Oh, he's playing. He didn't have in Europe. Grealish, Semenyo, those types of players, I love them because of that. I think I'd like to have a bit of a balance, half in Europe, half in kind of not, so that you've got at least one lineup you can kind of confidently go, he's playing.
Now, Chelsea have got a good fixture this midweek, haven't they? But is Jorgensen going to play in goal? I mean, he did all last season in Europe, but Sanchez played in the first one, didn't he? So who knows?
I think Jorgensen.
Is Lavia going to play?
I think Jorgensen plays. This is who I think plays. I think Lavia will play instead of Caicedo, because Caicedo really needs a rest and really look tired. Estevao should get a game. Tosin should be at the back, and Jorgensen should be in goal. So I think those 4 play.
I've got those ones, yeah.
And then I just didn't want to gamble on the 5th, because I do think players like I've got a Liam Delap, and I just think he should be playing because he's fit again. João Pedro probably needs a rest, so Liam Delap. But I didn't want to take that risk, so Julian Alvarez is a bit of a safer pick there. So
yeah, it's so tough, isn't it? But I think that lineup looks about right for me. But Madrid have a decent game as well, don't they? So
yeah, they've got someone. So there's quite a few nice fixtures there. I think Tottenham as well. I've got a. They're playing
Copenhagen at home.
Yeah, Copenhagen at home's a nice fixture for them. Villarreal got PFC away. Is that Panathinaikos? Who's PFC?
I think they're from Cyprus, aren't they? But...
yeah. I think that's the one David Luiz might be playing for. Yeah.
But it's going to be fun doing my lineups tomorrow. But I bought a David Raya as well, because now I've got a 5% limited collection for Arsenal anyway.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to get him, and his price had come down, so I just thought, fuck it, why not?
Is he the Spain goalkeeper, or is he just the Arsenal?
No, he's the backup for Spain. Unai Simon is the starter for Spain. You never know. If he gets injured, then Raya would be the number 1. So
Handuzi says it could have been 4 for Palace this weekend. I didn't see this game. I saw the highlights. And it wasn't really a surprise, really. I feel like this is the kind of game where you just think, oh, Brentford are going to be walked over here. But then if this Brentford were at home and they were playing someone like Liverpool, I'd be like, nah, Brentford are going to be up for that one. I feel like Brentford really
Brentford have been a lot better this season. Like, not this season, like in the last few weeks. Thiago started banging in the goals again, but Crystal Palace, they just look so disciplined at the back. It's just so tough trying to break them down, and the way they're sort of, set up, like they all know their jobs. Gaze and Lacroix are having like monster seasons, and they're just, everybody sort of knows what they're doing. They're so well organized, and Pino and Sarr just, they're the creative elements, and they sort of like, the two fullbacks, Mitchell and Muniz, they're sort of like will fly forward, and Mateta obviously, he's going to guarantee the odd DMP, the odd BCM like most weeks.
Yeah.
But he will score goals as well, and he's a handful for any team. So yeah, it's no surprise. But like, they have been playing sort of 2 games a week now for what, a month, 2 months now. You got to think that some of these guys get arrested soon. But every time I look, like Liverpool rested for the is it the Carling Cup?
Yeah.
Carabao Cup, whatever it's called this season anyway. But Liverpool rested, and I was so happy when I saw the Liverpool lineup. But Crystal Palace had a lot of their main guys out again. So,
and they're doing that in Europe as well. Every time in Europe, because I've got a collection from last season with Palace, so I'm playing the classic European competition one. And
Gay's played every game pretty much.
Yeah,
so.
I keep thinking, okay, surely he's not going to play this game. Surely so and so's going to get rested. But yeah, so far not working. But you do think they're going to get tired. When Eddie Nketiah needs more minutes, players like that.
And Gay's like England's number 1 as well. So the last thing I want is him getting injured. But mind you, the World Cup qualifying's over, isn't it, after this break? So
yeah. Good evening to, I've forgotten how to pronounce the name, mate. You told me last week's video as well. I remember this because I remember the name. And I've forgotten the pronunciation again, mate. I'm going to keep needing to be reminded. But good evening, mate. Welcome. How was your Sorare weekend? Let me know. Yeah, I've got an eye on Pino because he seems to be like, every time I watch Palace, Pino's creative, gets forward, but then just is not getting the goal involvement. He's just not clicking points wise. So he's someone I keep now and again. I'll just keep keeping an eye on his price, and it's dropping and dropping and dropping. And I think at some point it might click for him.
I think I bought him last European week. So I've definitely got him now. I'm pretty sure I've got him anyway.
So it's coming. The click's coming then.
Yeah, hopefully. But I never really use him in the Premier League competition. He goes into like Arena or and then save him for European midweeks. But
he's under 23 too, right?
Or
maybe not.
Is he? I feel like he was at Villarreal for ages, but maybe not.
He's 23 on the dot.
Oh, is he? Okay.
But yeah, he does feel like he's been around longer than that.
Just having looked to see what the predicted team is. It's predicted 2 days ago, but I feel like the Crystal Palace team is fairly easy to predict. I'm just looking at it now. So they reckon Richards gets a rest, but Henderson, Lacroix, Gay, Pino, Sarr, Mateta all play. Muniz plays. So
Come on, Palace. You can rest a few again in that one.
Yeah. Typically, it will be the game after I build some smashing lineups with the one where they do rotate.
Kerry, no worries. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. We're doing okay. Well, I'm doing okay. David might have changed his mind completely. He might not be doing okay now, but I'm doing okay. And good luck with the catch up. Let us know in the comments what you think of the episode. Fulham Wolves, last game in charge for Victor Pereira. So Fulham snuck in a nice fixture before they sacked the manager. Always nice when you do that. Chelsea did it with Forest. We were Ange's last game this year, and then they get the new manager. It's always nice when you're the last team because you're like, yes, no new manager bounce for us to worry about. So Easy win for Fulham here. What's Iwobi
They
doing
were
in the
good
middle?
last season, weren't they? But they haven't quite sort of, they haven't sort of hit the heights that they had last season. But maybe it'll come. But Kevin is someone I crafted as well, and obviously come from Shakhtar Donetsk. But he's not really got much game time. But when he does come on, he looks quite quite a fun player to watch, sort of dribbling and stuff like that. But there hasn't been much end product yet. And as a midfielder card, every time he loses possession, then it's just painful because his scores going to be like 60 or 35 unless he has like. Hopefully, he gets full cards next season. But he is a fun card to watch. But
Alex Iwobi, I didn't realize he was playing in the sort of middle, holding midfielder. Is that good?
well, he's
for
been playing
Sorare?
where Kevin was playing at the weekend. Kevin's been like a sub until now, so maybe like they decided to give Kevin the start and moved Iwobi into the middle. But
A 56, nothing. I was just curious if a deeper lying Iwobi is a bit of a trick because he's a forward card as well, but it doesn't look like nothing to get too excited about. And also, yeah, he might be back on the wing next week if Kevin's out.
yeah, I mean, as a forward card though, you'd want like you won't get tackles and inset of tackles, will he? So ideally, you don't want him for that. It's like quite specific what you want, isn't it? Sort of like defensive midfielders, you want to be midfield cards.
Yeah.
Like attacking midfielders, you want to be forward cards because they'll lose possession loads. But
I'm trying to get rid of this Harry Wilson card I've had for a while. I just
wait for him
never.
to
Yeah, I just never. That's why I keep him because I go, oh, he goes quite nice with that Brendan Johnson card I have. Little Wales mini attack, but it just. I just never play him in the game which he does well for Fulham, and then it's always a case of why have I still got that Wilson card? Like if he's doing this, someone else might want him, but nobody ever wants him. So Wales it is. Are they going to be at the World Cup, Wales?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't want to sort of shit on their parade, but I don't think that they need to like win some really tough fixtures.
Oh yeah, they got Belgium in their group.
Yeah, they've got a game in hand over North Macedonia. So if they win that, then they would be equal on points. So it's not impossible they get to the playoffs, but then the playoffs they might get a tough team as well. But you never know. You would imagine that sort of Belgium walk this and sort of finish top of the group. But North Macedonia and Wales, both decent teams. So yeah, it's not out of the question, but unlikely. Sorry, Harry Trades.
Sorry, Harry. We've put it down on his World Cup dreams already.
I think Scotland stand there. I'm sure that they. Let's have a look. Yeah, they're second in the group at the moment, equal on points with Denmark.
Oh, nice.
All played 4 games. They've all got 2 games left. So the decider will be, providing Scotland get a result in Greece, the decider will be Scotland-Denmark in the final game, which will be fun.
Juicy.
In Scotland. So yeah, that could be fun. So if they do that, they'll be through. But I'll probably have more Denmark cards than Scotland cards. So
managed to get second streak on Challenger with some top fixtures. Looking ahead to the next 3 game weeks. I really like the matchup. Let's dream all the way. You go, mate.
Nice, love
it. Yeah, it's a nice feeling when you have that streak and then you're looking at those fixtures ahead and you're kind of going, played this well. He's got a good fixture here. He's got a good fixture there.
That's what I was doing this weekend. I should have been watching Kochi get sent off instead.
Oh,
completely could have been going for streak 5 this weekend. Oh, pain.
That is pain. Anyway. I've never made it to 4. 3's where I get knocked out every time.
I get past there. I'll get to 4, but I've only just started playing Liga and Bundesliga. I would say, probably next weekend will be the first weekend where I'm playing it properly. La Liga, I bought a few cards, like Villarreal cards, and I had a few others that I've crafted, so I'll play that a bit. But yeah, I probably need to move into them. Bundesliga, though, it just feels like you need the Bayern Munich stack, and even then, you
Yeah.
need to pick the right starters.
What's your Bundesliga strategy? Is it to go Hertha Berlin and sort of hope that they, or do you
They're
have other
Bundesliga
teams?
too.
Oh yeah, that's contender.
Who did I buy? Some of the cards I crafted, and then I bought Wolfsburg, a few of their players. Like no one expensive, just like cheap cards that will help. I got most of them off auctions and stuff like that. Alish Garcia
Okay.
from Leverkusen, who's been their starter. I've got loads of his card. I've got like 2 rares and 3 or 4 limited. But because I used to buy Girona every season because he was brilliant. But yeah, so
Not bought Girona this season, have you?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't going to play the Liga this season. I just thought, Villarreal, I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. I had a Villarreal stack when Jorgensen was there and Moreno,
nice.
and I had a, and they did quite well for me. So I thought, I'll jump back into them, and I saw they had a decent fixture this week. I thought, yeah, good time to do it.
Nottingham Forest, Manchester United. This was a fun game. I enjoyed watching this one. I thought Forest had done it. Thought they were going to run away, get that victory, and then Bigger Mad popping up with the equaliser. So fun game for Manchester United. Up front is a bit of a funny one though. Sesko just doesn't seem to be. I know it's early, but when you look at someone like Ekatike, or when you look at someone even like João Pedro, at least with João Pedro, if he has a bad game, I'm kind of seeing promising signs. With Sesko, I just didn't see much to get excited about. So I can see him leaving to AC Milan in about a year.
And becoming a star.
Yeah, big winning Golden Boot in Italy, and
yeah. I can't mock Man United too much because they beat us a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? So they look like a different beast this season. Like if you ignore Sesko, then Cunha and Buemo, just look. They look a lot more creative. Cunha, I absolutely love. I think he's a brilliant player. And Buemo as well. He's brilliant. Buemo, unfortunately, is going to be going to AFCON, isn't he? In a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think that kicks off like mid-December or towards the third week of December. So they'll miss him basically for a month.
Oh dear. I need Mason Mount to step up.
Yeah. Mason Mount's looked a lot better this season as well.
I've got a classic Mason Mount card.
More made for that role, isn't he? That sort of floating number 10 where you can sort of move in and out of spaces and stuff like that. But
he just needs to stay fit.
Yeah.
Evening, Kev. Your glorious co-host, Kev. Glorious failure for Scotland incoming as usual. Oh, Kev. Do you think that will happen at the group stage, the qualifying stage, or at the World Cup? Surely at the World Cup, Kev.
Got to be optimistic. They've got to get results, the same result as Denmark do in the first games. So if Denmark win, which they probably will, then Scotland need to win, and then just smash them up in Scotland.
Yeah, just
easy.
Gilmore masterclass.
Easy.
Forest, I picked up a Gibbs White card like 2 weeks ago. So it was good to see him looking like back to his old self, because this season with Ange, I don't know what happened. It might have been the contract stuff. Gibbs White has just looked so strange and not like the Gibbs White of old. But
I think it was the way they were playing more than anything, wasn't it? Like, the players that they've got, like Ndoye, Hudson-Odoi, the guy they got from Strasbourg, Bakwa, when he's injured at the moment, but they're all like quick break. Yeah. They're all players that have pace and need to like the ball played in front of them, or like to take. I don't know, and just the way that Big Ange was playing with them just wasn't working. That it was just the wrong set of players, and I feel like although the results still haven't been great, I feel like under the new manager they probably will do a bit better. But time will tell. But
I feel like Sean Dyche is a bit more sort of like sensible, like looks at what he's got and kind of goes, how do I make the most out of this? Because if you're a new manager at Forest, surely you go, okay, Gibbs White. Well, what a creative really a solid number 10, can, presses well, does a bit of everything, scores a few goals. You kind of want to go, okay, he's got to be here. Now we've got to make the most of that and have all of that pace around him. And yeah, Ange just kind of, I think, had him playing as a defensive midfielder sometimes, and odd. And these scores that you can see from him while Ange was there are just crazy. When you look at last season when he was doing things like this with
Yeah.
with Nuno, and then Ange comes in and does this. So hopefully, I've picked him up in the kind of hope that Sean Dyche gets the most out of him, and we keep having a bit of fun.
I think it will. I mean, I remember watching like Forest at the start of the season, or not even the start of the season, like a few weeks ago, and they just like were trying to play it around at the back like they were prime City, trying to pass it around. Like, and Liverpool have been trying that this season, and they can't even get it to work this season. So,
Yeah,
they need to try a different way. And Dyche isn't going to muck around trying to play it like little 1-2s in your own penalty area. You're just trying to you're asking for trouble then, and that's so. Yeah, I think stylistically, I didn't watch this game live, but I imagine they'll go back to sort of basics and sort of like try and be safe at the back, and they've got creative elements going forward like Douglas Luiz, Anderson. Anderson's been a sort of revelation for England, and he's a brilliant player. Hudson-Odoi and Ndoye, Gibbs White. They've got Jesus, and then
it's a
obviously they've
great
got.
team.
Yeah, it's a good team. They've got a decent unit, and obviously, what's his name will be back. Chris Wood, they've got a lot of decent players. So yeah, I think they'll be okay. And I'm pretty sure that it's probably the best time to buy Gibbs White was probably when you bought him than a few weeks ago.
I might even. It might be a quick sell as well. It might be, if he scores in the next 2 games in a row, could be a quick little take my profit and run. Greece is the other game for Scotland. That's why Kev's worried. Greece with their team of talented. We did brilliant to get into this position. Though hopefully we can make the World Cup. Just got to beat Greece, Kev. Just got to beat Greece. Because then even if you lose to Denmark, maybe second place playoff. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe Scotland Wales playoff. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Manchester United. Do you have any? You said you had a Mbeumo. Do you have anyone else?
Yeah, I've got quite a few of them, limited, and I've got a few rares. In season wise, I think I bought Matthias de Ligt.
Nice.
Who's not been great, but he generally scores aren't awful either, so he doesn't sort of destroy lineups. In fact, I would have made the threshold if I'd not threshold the streak if I'd put him instead of Konaté this weekend. Yeah, I've got Bruno Classic, and then I've got most of the decent players as well in season as well. So
nice.
But yeah, they look a lot better this season. But
yeah, I think you'll get more joy out of them this year. And like you said earlier, no European football. That's huge. Then it was Tottenham versus Chelsea, and even if Chelsea are a bit wobbly, one thing you can guarantee any season: when Chelsea go to Tottenham, 3 points is coming back home. It was, I mean, looking at these ratings, a little bit flattering possibly to Chelsea. A sea of green. I don't know if it was that dominant of a performance. I just think
some players stood out, didn't they? Casado was absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah,
he is most game weeks. But
he's
yeah,
a joy.
Yeah,
he really is.
Fofana at the back looked good. Reece James has been brilliant this season, but just looking at that team, you've got Neto, Reece James, Fofana, players that just cannot stay fit. Fofana's missed best part of 2 years through injuries.
Yeah, easily, yeah.
Reece James, like a lot of last season and the season before, through hamstring problems. But if you can keep them fit, they are two world-class players. Fofana was touted as one of the best to be, one of the best centre-backs, and he's just sort of like injuries are just robbing us of him. It says that on SofaScore that Neto went off injured. I didn't look particularly injured to me when he went off.
Yeah, saying here a little injury. No, I don't think that was serious. Who did he come on for? Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I've not heard anything about a serious injury for him though since, so might have been one of those ones where he knows he's not had a great game and limps off kind of to save a little bit of pride.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I don't.
for Farnes. He'll sometimes just wins the ball so easily, and you get glimpses of it, like, oh wow, this guy could. What a player he could have been if he'd have just not had any of these injuries.
Reece James as well. I mean, he's been like in so rare terms, he's been brilliant because his AA has just been smashing it. And when he gets like, decisives, obviously he's on some of their corners as well. When they do well out of that. So, but again, it's just rotation. I've played him a couple of times in big lineups, and like that's been the week that he's been rotated and not come on, or come on with like 10 minutes left for got 35 points. But yeah, it's just frustrating. But Vicario, I mean, like, if you look at the Vicario score, his has been opted up and up and up. Like, I looked at his score the other day and thought, Vicario didn't get a clean sheet. Why has he got to score like that? But the amount of saves he's made was just, how much have they got him down? 8 saves, 7 from inside the box, 3 run out successful. So
Wow.
3 keeper sweepers. So yeah, he racked up. He tends to get sort of decent scores, but
yeah, busy boy. He's had a good season. I've had him. I've had him all season. Got him early access, and he's been a fun goalkeeper. Some of his scores, yeah, like his last 3 scores, 98, 87, and a 70. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, no, he's been very good. But Spurs have not been. Is it their away form is good, but the home form has been rubbish?
Yeah, they're saying that the stadium's too nice. They're saying that the seats are too comfortable. You've got like bagels being sold, freshly baked bagels, and it's like a nice atmosphere, but it's not like White Hart Lane used to be. It's not intimidating in any way. So they're saying that could be affecting it.
There's a lovely stadium. Sorare took me there a couple of years ago now, but not long after it opened, and it is just incredible. It looks amazing from the outside, and like everything inside is just perfect. But
is that true? Arsenal have only lost 6 more home games than Spurs in their new arenas, and Tottenham moved in 13 years later. That is some stat. They've only lost 6 more home games than Spurs in 13 years. That's a good one for the Arsenal fans to brag about.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, Tottenham, yeah, I think rotation. If you're gonna get Chelsea cards, I think if you're gonna get Chelsea cards, you've got to get them all, because it's like you do get a good idea of who's going to be playing based on who played like last week. So when we see the Champions League lineup midweek, we'll know, okay, if Reece James is not there, he's definitely playing at the weekend. If João Pedro is not there, so I think that is the case. But you just kind of need, I think, a lot more. Otherwise, you're playing half the games, and you're going to be hoping he plays every game. But if you have Malo Gusto and Reece James, Maresca's quite easy to predict who's going to play. You just have to have them.
Yeah, it's tough. Like Reece James, I won't be playing this midweek. I would be surprised if we played him again. But who did Chelsea have at the weekend?
So it was Tottenham here, and then
next weekend. I mean,
next weekend it might be Wolves, or it's Wolves. Wolves at home, I think. So hopefully,
I do know that actually. Yeah, because I was looking at that thinking, oh my god, that's a prime fixture.
Yeah, hopefully Wolves haven't got their any momentum going yet, and they're still a bit shaken, and some temporary managers in place.
Well, I heard they were thinking of bringing back the guy they sacked last season.
No,
Gary O'Neill, is it?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether they've done that. I haven't really looked at too much today, but seems like a strange move.
Yeah, that does feel like a strange one. Liverpool back to winning ways. Happy David.
Yeah.
Was it not convincing?
Yes, it was better, but Villa played in a way that was so favourable to us. Like, they didn't really press us; they let us have time on the ball. So it made absolutely no sense to me why they played that way, because teams that have come after us every time this season have done well. So it was a bit of a shock to way. So I would say Unai Emery lost that match rather than Liverpool won it. But it's nice to get a clean sheet, and decent score. I don't know how Kanate, I watched the game and yeah, he wasn't brilliant, but I don't know how he got such a low score. But maybe he gets opted.
I'm surprised is he injured? Oh, is he injured? That Leone. I was gonna say like should we chuck Leone in for a few two games, but he's injured.
Yeah, no, he
Late
did his
December.
didn't he, in his literally first match for Liverpool? But it's
That's a
painful.
big
He looked really
shame.
good as well for like 45 minutes. Then did his ACL. But so we've only got Gomez really as sort of like the third one, unless Gravenberch plays there. But having Gravenberch just feels like a bit of a waste because he's such a good ball carrier. He's perfect in the role he's playing. So, and McAllister hasn't been great this season, but he missed pre-season. He's had so many sort of like niggly injuries and stuff like that. Feels like if he can get a run in the team, then his form could come back. And that partnership of McAllister and Gravenberch, which is the one that took us to the title last season, if they can get that. Szoboszlai, I personally prefer him where he played at the weekend, driving forward, carrying the ball and stuff like that. And I thought he looked good at the weekend. Probably should have scored himself. But with Frimpong injured at right back, Bradley and Szoboszlai are probably going to keep rotating there, which is a bit sort of painful. I don't know who else could play there. Maybe Curtis Jones, but Curtis Jones tends to rotate with McAllister. Yeah, it's
Can
been
Gomez?
Sort of Gomez can
back?
play right back, but I feel like he's more likely to play at centre back because we short on centre backs. So, and Isak obviously hasn't been great, but he's another player that just didn't have a pre-season. In fact, didn't have anything really until he sort of turned up at Liverpool. So, it's probably going to take him time to get going, but he's not exactly set the world alight. Ekitike does look fun and lively. Florian Wirtz, I'm glad he's on the bench at the moment. I just think he needs time, and we shouldn't be getting on his back because we know how good. I know how good he is.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's up to the pace of the Premier League at the moment. Although he probably would, funnily enough, he probably would have done better this weekend playing the way Villa played. Like he'd have would have had more time on the ball. But
yeah, I think with Bert and Isak, there's been so much criticism, and I just think with Isak especially as well, like the mental side of things, leaving Newcastle how he did, like there must have, we don't know the full story, but there was clearly a lot of stress for him. It wasn't, there was a lot of that. Will he stay at Newcastle at one point? Are Liverpool even going to buy him? What's happening? So I think he's come from a huge, unstable, no preseason, mentally all over the place, settling down into a new club as well. And he's probably got a lot of pressure on him from himself as well. Like, I've got this price tag and I want to show it. I want to get going straight away. And I just think everyone needs to just be a bit patient there.
And if he'd dropped into the team that we had last season, where everybody sort of knew their job, we had Diaz and sort of, Gakpo. But I feel like this season we lost Diaz, we obviously lost Jota, we lost Nunes, and admittedly Nunes wasn't the best striker, but they all defended from the front. And we're doing that less this season. Our press has just not been good enough against certain teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. But I think some of these players need time and, yeah, see what happens anyway. But
do you share Kev's optimism that you're going to roll into Real Madrid? Let's start off as Leone. Oh, Leone's out for the season. Wow.
Yeah, no, he did his ACL. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, as Kev said there, Villa stood off us. It just made no sense how they played. But yeah, I don't know. I think if we get a draw against Real Madrid, I'd be very happy. But
where is it? Is it your stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that Anfield gives you a little edge as well, and
so I mean, we probably would have done better against Real Madrid last season, but this season that they're playing in with a much more aggressive press, and they're playing sort of, even players like Vinicius and Vinicius Junior and Mbappe are sort of like helping the team and are working as a unit. So yeah, it's going to be tough beating them. If we can get a point, I'll be very happy with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they rested anyone at the weekend.
They will be my Liverpool players. I didn't actually buy too many in-season Liverpool players this season, right at the start of the season, just because I was less optimistic this season than I was last season.
And now are you slowly picking them up, or are you just holding off still?
Yeah, a few of them. Yeah, like Szoboszlai's just been brilliant, and he's on set pieces, or half the set pieces with Gakpo. So I feel like if you're going to get any Liverpool players, probably Van Dijk tends to, even when we don't do well, tends to put up okay scores, and Gakpo and Szoboszlai, both sharing set pieces, tend to sort of score quite well as well.
What do you think's happening at left back? Is Robertson gonna? Is he got that spot again, or do you think it'll be a
No, I don't think so.
rotating?
Robertson's looked good when he's come on, and he's. But everybody's complaining he sort of lacked the pace and sort of dynamism last season, and he probably does. He is getting a little bit older, but Kirkes has looked a little bit off the boil. I don't know quite what's going on, but I probably would put more of it on the manager, what he's asking them to do.
Yeah.
Like at Bournemouth, Kirkes wasn't asked to play out from the back. They didn't play. Playing more of a direct system last season, and him being asked to sort of play at the back, maybe that's just not his best role. And I don't know what's going on, but I think it's going to be a nightmare spot. It's going to rotate. I was looking at buying Kirkes as limited earlier, actually, just because I've got a 5% Liverpool collection. I thought I might as well, but I don't know. I just didn't end up buying him just because it's painful.
I mean, I've got a Kirkes. I crafted the Kirkes limited, and I don't think I've actually had a decent lineup with him in like.
Yeah, he's just not great to use.
Robertson's a fiver. I wonder if you get both of them, you can kind of work out the rotation. Like if one plays, is it always the case the other one plays? But it doesn't seem that easy.
Well, you would hope that, but I think Robertson played last midweek in the cup. So I expected Kirkes to play this weekend, but he didn't. It was Robertson. So I expect Kirkes will play this midweek. But
Yeah.
I know Slot doesn't rotate quite as much. In that way, he's quite a sort of decent manager to have from a so rare point of view. But, it's still tough trying to predict the Liverpool lineup. There are certain players that are obvious, but.
Kev clearing up something very important. He didn't say roll into them. He meant the team selection will roll. So it'll be the same team.
Yeah. No, I think there'll be a couple of changes. Similar team.
Maybe Kirkes in.
Yeah.
West Ham, of all people, winning against Newcastle.
They're really good.
Wilson against his old team. Potts looked very lively in midfield. Paquetá, good. Yeah, maybe the Nuno's just got his methods across. Maybe the team's kind of understanding how he wants to play, all of that stuff now. And maybe West Ham will go on a run.
Jared Bowen hit the post, didn't he? In the the third minute. It came back out, and then Newcastle went straight down the other end and scored. He just couldn't believe it. But and Paquetá looked good. I thought they looked a lot better certainly than last time I watched them this season. But and Newcastle are just going to be sort of they're another team that are having to sort of play twice a week for pretty much every day. And I think they went through in the Carabao Cup as well, didn't they? So yeah, it's just so painful trying to sort of certain players will play. You'd expect Guimaraes to play most games and Tonali. But it's going to be tough working out sort of Anthony Gordon. He's looked slightly better. He looked okay again at the weekend, but
they both got subbed at half time. It was strange. Walter Mada and Gordon.
I think Walter Messi, he was they're saying he was injured.
Okay.
Doesn't say that on SofaScore though.
No.
So I don't know. I'm pretty sure it said that he had some sort of niggly injury or something.
Kev says Robbo should stay left back for now. Kirkes needs time to settle.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think he'll start this midweek.
staying away from our fullbacks. I'm sorry. I wish I could stay away, Kev. I crafted this Kirkhead, and I was like, when I crafted him, it was near the beginning of the season when he was still the number one. So I was like, okay, keep this guy. He's going to get in the team. He's going to get his form up. And now I'm like, well, now what do I do? Now he's worth £3. And now I'm like, well, I might as well keep him again. Hope he gets in the team. And
it says Anthony Gordon was feeling his hip slightly. Don't know what that means.
okay.
But they said that Walter Messe went off and was injured as well. But it's not, again, it's another injury that isn't showing here. But
It would have been weird to take them off when they needed I think they were losing as well. No, they were drawing, yeah. Oh, no, they were losing 2 goals.
No, they were losing. They conceded just before the break, didn't they? Yeah, they 2-1 down at the break.
So that's very unlucky. 2 of the probably best players getting slight knocks and having to come off at half time. But still, yeah, West Ham were much better. Less West Hammy than they've been recently. It's not enough for me to kind of look at them and go, oh, yeah, I might want to pick up a few of their players, but I've got a whole bunch in Classic, so...
The players that you'd want are players like Bowen, and they've never been cheap, really. I bought Bowen a few weeks ago, and, you know, he's still compared to, like, other cheap forwards for teams that weren't doing well. He still wasn't cheap, but, yeah.
Yeah, £15.
We'll have to see what happens to them anyway.
Good scores, though. And some of these good scores, like, this is when they're not playing well. So if they can get... Yeah.
Yeah, no, he looked lively. Definitely sort of... How expensive is he now? What, 15 quid?
At limited. Not too bad. Gary O'Neill has turned Wolves down. Breaking news. O'Neill
really?
Turns them down. That's good.
After being sacked, would you want to go back?
Where's he? Has he been anywhere since Wolves? I don't think so. Gary O'Neill. Who are they going to get? It's going to be Sam Allardyce. They're not going to get anyone else.
Big Sam.
Yeah, he's not been anywhere since Wolves 2024. He's been waiting.
I wouldn't
go back. Nah, no way. I think it's pretty much as well guaranteed you're not going to get like a lot of money to spend on new players. So that's the team you're working with. They've not got any confidence. The fans probably aren't going to like you because you got sacked last time. So you're going to be up against it from the off. But that's good. It means Chelsea might get a managerless Wolves to play at the weekend. Even more goals for João Pedro incoming. Kev's telling me to stay patient with Kirkhead. All right, Kev. I'm keeping him, Kev, on your recommendation. Man City 3, Bournemouth 1. City are rolling teams over. It's looking like they're going to push Arsenal for that title. And then maybe Liverpool can, if they pick up their form as well. But City looks scary again.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they definitely don't look as dominant. You know, they just don't look dominant.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Bournemouth could quite easily have scored. I think they had a goal disallowed before Haaland scored. And yes, it was quite comfortable eventually for City. And they were playing Bournemouth, you know, who are pretty good, you know, a pretty tough team to play because they're quite physical. They're sort of, you know, 100 miles an hour the whole time, pressing you. But yeah, I don't know. They just don't, you know, they don't look. Yes, they won, but it wasn't like a vintage City performance. So I don't know. Just having a look at the next permanent Wolves manager. The favourite now is, oh no, it was Steven Gerrard, but he's now gone to 18-1. The favourite is Eric Ten Hag.
No way! Can you imagine? That's the last thing he needs. Is after being sacked by Leverkusen, sacked by Man United, coming in at Wolves and lasting 4 weeks and getting sacked again.
Yeah.
10. No, there's no way he's coming. Nah, they got to be sensible. They could get relegated. You know, you got to get someone
The bookies just play, so they just put like the odds up for anyone who's free, though, don't they? It's like,
Yeah, I feel like Gerard's always there. Gerard's name's always any
yeah,
kind of job. Lampard's a bit like that now too. He's always rumoured now. Struggling Premier League team.
maybe Gerard's waiting for Slot to get fired.
Maybe, yeah. Give it Big Sam till the end of the season. Too right, Kev. They'll be annoyed that Sean Dyche is gone now. They would have wanted Sean Dyche, really.
I'd like to see Rodri sort of back and sort of performing. Well, I wouldn't from a Liverpool point of view, but from a
Yeah.
Sorare point of view, I think obviously you crafted him as well, didn't you? But he's such a good midfielder. But
came off the bench at 90 minutes. You just got to hope, because it's such a long injury, and with him like almost 30 years old, I think you just think, is that going to have taken something out of his game now? Is that going to slow him down? Is that going to be a reoccurring injury? So yeah,
Van Dijk came back from it, so I'm pretty sure that Rodri can come back.
oh, it's
His
the same
game was
injury.
like, pardon?
Was it the exact same injury as Van Dijk's?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely no worries that he can come back, but you need to get through that spell where you sort of have those niggly injuries because you haven't played, and like, your body isn't up to sort of like the rigors of football all of the time. So hopefully he stays with Man City during the break, but you know what's going to happen. He's going to go to Spain and probably pick up another injury or something. But
played 2 sets of 90 minutes for Spain. One of the games will go to penalties. He'll play all of the minutes.
I think Spain, surely they're already qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, they must be.
Well, yeah, top of the group. Yeah. 12 points. Not officially through yet. But yeah, they should be. They beat Georgia and essentially they're through.
Yeah. It looks like they're okay without Rodri. They've got people like Zubamendi. They've got people like Marino.
Yeah, no, they've got decent players to put in there.
Should be able to rest him.
Yeah, you would hope he gets. But
going forward, I just think they look so much better than last year. Like at the back, it's still a bit shaky, and I wouldn't ever fancy them for a clean sheet. But the way Cherky and Foden were linking up with Haaland, I just didn't see that last year, especially for Foden. Foden last year had a year off basically, so he looks like he's confident again, picking up some form.
Yeah, Cherky, I don't know. He'll be the kind of player that will ruin your lineup sometimes because he will be rotated in and out. He's still a young guy, but he's capable of absolutely stunning things. But in that team, if he does become a sort of regular in that team, he's more than capable of sitting in that sort of 10 role and finding Haaland all the time. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I thought Foden would be the 10 this season after ADB left, but he's obviously had injuries at the start of the season as well. So, but I think he played out in the right this weekend, and Cherky was sort of in the middle. But yeah, they're such, they're beautiful players to watch, aren't they? And Haaland just looks like an animal when he gets like put through, doesn't he? It's like nothing can stop him.
It's such a strange sensation having a striker like that, where I feel like you're convinced he's going to score. When he's through on goal, you're just like, oh, there's a goal. Maybe it's just the Chelsea fan in me talking. For a while, we haven't had a striker like that where you just believe. There's been too many Nicholas Jacksons and Lukaku's and Timo Werner's recently, but what a luxury for them to have a striker like that.
Looking at his scores, it's like Premier League strikers are a bit of a nightmare. You've got Saka, but Saka's not been setting the world alight recently, and a lot of them are quite decisive dependent, and Haaland is probably the king of being decisive dependent. Like his AA is just rubbish. But you look at his scores, he's got, this season, he's only got
ridiculous.
When he doesn't score, he gets 36, 40.
He's done that twice. 2 yellow
He's done that twice. He scored all the other games, or at least got an assist. So, what do you do?
That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Got Liverpool at the weekend as well.
Yeah, it's going to be, both teams not in great form. I know City obviously have had a win. We had a win yesterday, but normally that would be sort of like a title deciding sort of. But this season just feels a bit flat now. It's like just get the system right, Slot. Just, bed in the players, and then we'll go back again next season. But
Yeah.
you would expect Arsenal win the league this season. They've got sort of decent depth, sort of all over the pitch, and
They have.
they look sort of consistent. Sort of when they're away from home, they look sort of hard to break down. Defensively, they're great. They tick all the boxes.
Yeah, they're a little bit like the opposite.
So they deserve it, don't they?
They're a little bit like the opposite of City. It's a bit like they're so solid at the back that they're building on that, whereas City seem to be building from the front and hoping Matheus Nunes and O'Reilly can just keep clean sheets. But there's just something with Arsenal where it's like, I just worry. I want Arsenal to win. If obviously Chelsea don't win, I want Arsenal out of the contenders. But it's just, I just get worried. If they had an injury, let's say Gabriel gets injured after Christmas, and they start feeling the pressure, it could just be a case of, because they've done it the last few years, fallen away. And if City just keep this up, just keep the pressure on them, I can just see City just nicking it at the end. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who I'd rather win. I guess Arsenal. I don't want City to win again.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like Arsenal, and then it'd be a one-off. Arsenal win it, and then that's it. Then they kind of just fade away again, please. Back to battling for fourth.
Yeah, and then if Liverpool finish third, I'll be more than happy with that. I was shocked, actually. I mean, we've been awful this season. Even the games we won at the start of the season, we weren't great. And I thought, well, give the manager time. But when the table came up after the game at the weekend, I was like, how the hell are we in third? It just feels unbelievable. We've lost so many games recently. But yeah, it's fairly shocking. Like, look at that record. We've had one win, and there were 4 or 5 losses in the league. 4 losses in the league before that, back to back.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's still third. It's all of those last-minute winners right at the beginning.
And if I was sort of optimist, I'd say the title's not over. There's a 6-point gap for Arsenal. Well, that's absolutely nothing. Things can change, but we just don't look like as good when teams play properly against us this season. Like, Slot needs to sort of work out sort of, a couple of ways to play rather than trying to sort of pass it around at the back and pass through teams, because it just isn't working.
I mean, these 2 games, Real Madrid and Man City, after that, it could be...
That's one of the reasons. After that is one of the reasons I've been buying Liverpool cards recently, because we've got 3 or 4 decent league games after that.
Sensible.
And as you said earlier, like, the price of them now, like Kirkes and people like that, is so cheap, it's unbelievable. But
I'm keeping my eye on them. Keeping my eye on a few of these Liverpool cards. Maybe they'll get even cheaper after the City game.
Yeah, we've got 2. We've got after that. Oh, we've got Forest at home.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. PSV at home. West Ham away. Sunderland at home, and then Leeds away, and then Brighton at home.
Sunderland and Leeds back to back. That's that could be a fun couple of weeks.
It's a decent spell. If we can't sort of work out how to play and win those games, then
get Klopp back.
No, Slot deserves time. This season is, team. Everything has changed, hasn't it? We've got rid of loads of players and brought new guys in, and those guys need time. But it's just hard to watch.
I said it a few weeks ago. I can still see Liverpool maybe winning like the Champions League or something, like sorting it out later in the season. And the Premier League's gone, but the NFA Cup or a Champions League, or it won't be the Carabao now.
Yeah, it's not impossible. We've done it before. We've got to finals before where we've not been a good team that season, and for whatever reason we've just managed to make it click. But we did okay. Was it the last game or the game before? I can't remember in the Champions League. I'm sort of losing track of all of the games that are going on. But
there was a good one against Atletico Madrid, but I don't know if that was the last one.
No, that was the one where we were leading, looking comfortable, and then drew. I'm pretty sure. Palace, Community Shield. Bloody thing.
Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, yeah.
5-1, yeah.
Yeah, we won there. But the Atletico Madrid match was quite a frustrating match. Galatasaray, that was frustrating as well. 1-0 loss. Yeah, we've just not been great this season. But he deserves time anyway. He won the title again last season.
Yeah. He's not. I mean, he might be, judging by how crazy football is these days, but he shouldn't really be under any pressure.
Liverpool won't fire him.
And so many new players.
Yeah. Even if we miss the Champions League this season, miss the top 4 this season, he would still be there next season. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He'd get one more year. And then it'd be Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill would then be waiting.
Let's have a look at the table for Champions League. It's got last season, a lot of the big teams didn't perform early on, and the teams that went on to win it, or PSG, had a bit of a rocky start, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
now they're top. Bayern, Inter, basically all the big teams at the top. Liverpool are a little bit lower. Chelsea are a little bit lower. Spurs. There's so many decent teams, isn't there?
And crazy that you just have to finish in the top 24.
Yeah, I mean, if you get knocked out, then probably shouldn't have been in the first place. But
although I'm seeing some of these teams, I would have thought Ajax, Benfica, Juventus. There's some big teams here that I would have thought would be mid-table.
Ajax have not been good this season. I know, because I was looking at sort of some of their players again this season. I've got some of their classic cards from last season, and
they were dreadful against Chelsea. Ajax. That's one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
Have they fired the manager? I know they haven't fired him. He's still there.
He's hanging on. Surely has to go soon, because
he was Slot's sidekick last season. So whatever they were talking about when he went over there, let's both try this formation. Let's try this style. You go there, you're crushing it. It's like, no, it's just not worked at all. But I don't know who the brains was behind the title for Liverpool last season, but it wasn't him.
No way.
Yeah, every time I the guy that does the predictions for Ajax on Sorare and side's quite good. It's just like a post fuming about how shit they've been. So fuck knows who's going to start. They've just been absolute shit this season. Nobody deserves to start. Managers should go, stuff like that. But,
it's crazy. I think they're 5th or something in the league as well. So it's like,
I think it's the way they've been playing. They just haven't been playing well. But yeah, I think they started the season okay, didn't they? Got a couple of wins, but then it's just going to shit at the moment.
They've got Weghorst as their main striker. I mean, come on, Weghorst.
Yeah. Who's the other guy they've got? Dolberg they got in, but he's injured.
I feel like he's always injured.
He's quite good, but yeah. Yeah, they've got them. I mean, they have some decent players there. So, it wouldn't surprise me if they turn it around. But I think that it's likely, unless they turn it around pretty quickly, the manager's going to go. But I mean, they had a home game against one of the lower teams this weekend, didn't they? Herenveen, and lost and drew it.
Yeah.
So you play Galatasaray midweek, tough game, although it's at home, and then they're playing Utrecht next weekend, which again is a tough game. So,
have you got any Eredivisie cards? Is that a league you play?
I have crafted a few. Trying to think. I don't think I've played it yet. No, it's probably one of those leagues where I could put 5 cards out in season, but they wouldn't be guaranteed starters.
Okay.
So I don't really want to waste the classic goalkeeper in there. Well, they're saying that Kovar, I have a few of his limited cards from his Leverkusen days. I had a few Leverkusen collections, and he's just been diabolic as well. He was my last weekend. I was like, oh, he's got a low L15. He's got a nice home game. Perfect. No, got an absolutely shocking score this weekend.
Nightmare.
But yeah, moving on to next week. It should be fun anyway.
Definitely.
Are you going for any streaks next weekend?
I think it's 2 or 3 for the Premier League, and then oh no, I've been kicked out of La Liga. Back to 1 in La Liga. So yeah, Premier League hopefully. Fingers
So we look
crossed.
to see which one was done. I'm praying that Opta does a bit of shenanigans, and all I want is Dade to get like some phantom last man tackle or thing, and that'll be worth quite a few bucks to me. But yeah, I can't see where the streaks are on here. Oh, I think where
They're
am I
hard to
then?
find. They don't. It's a bit. It's not as intuitive as I
Premier
would
League
like.
back to 0, MLS Rare back to 0, Contender back to 0. Those are for rare, but limited. I think I've got a few that are moving along quite nicely. Oh, I'm onto the 3rd streak for Prem Limited, 3rd streak
Nice.
for La Liga Limited. MLS, I'm on the 3rd streak as well. I don't know whether I'll play it next week. They double the rewards as well, so I might save it until all the teams are playing
Oh
again.
yeah, they have. That's only MLS doubled, right?
Yeah, just for the last 3 weeks of the playoffs. And then
Nice.
Belgium League, I put 5 cards in there and I hit the first target. I think I needed like is it the Lurving goalkeeper? I can't remember which keeper it was. Toby Layson to like get 90 plus. So I literally didn't bother to look at it. I thought there's no chance he's getting 90 plus. I think they were at home to Ghent and he got 90 plus. So I hit that. So now I've
Nice.
bought a few more Belgium cards to sort of give it, a proper go next weekend. But yeah.
Nice. Nice. David, I think we've done it. I think we've successfully reviewed a Premier League weekend. Successfully
Nice.
reviewed how we're doing in Sorare, giving some people some teasing things to think about, some players to keep on their scout lists. Of course, go listen to the Sorare Ramble podcast, guys. It's fantastic. Is there anything else, David, on the horizon? Are you hosting any streams, any live streams in the future?
We've got the MFL stream tomorrow. That'd be
Nice.
MFL Ramble, talking about stuff there. Sorare Ramble, don't know whether that'll be happen this week, but I'd like to get that back next week and sort of keep it going regularly. It's just been quite tough with my health, trying to organise it and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
we'll get going. We'll get going eventually. But
Yeah.
probably for this end of the season.
The live streams, it's always tough because I always miss them because it's always too early for me because you do them quite early, don't you? They're like lunchtime UK time, so that's like
Yeah, the MFL one, yeah, because Hoodwink goes to pick his son up, or used to pick him up from nursery, so
yeah.
it was always best doing it then. But we are going to try, like Kev starts a new job soon, so hopefully we can sort of rotate them, get a couple of the American guys on and do a couple more sort of later on, a more palatable time for people over there. But, yeah.
Nice. Well, selfishly, I look forward to that. But yeah, David, thank you for coming on. You've been a delight. Good luck with your Sorare weekend coming up.
Thank you very much. Good luck to you as well.
Let's hope we're both millionaires by the time we next do a show together.
Yeah, one of these days.
One of these days we'll become millionaires. Right, guys. I think I'll have my Sorare video on Thursday. Planet MFL this week is on Friday. I'll be joined by Roy Levy, and then next week is Sid. Next week Sid's on Planet MFL, so that'll be fun. I'm gonna love you and leave you guys. Outro music time. David, thanks again. Take care, mate. Peace.
It's all right. Bye.